Osquio is the dark cousin of Esquie, and acts as the final boss of the new Verso's Drafts region added to Expedition 33 as part of the Thank You update. So, what can you expect from this fight, and what strategies can you employ to give you the best chances of success?
Prepare to do that. Really?
You can find Osquio in the new Verso's Drafts region, which becomes available after you access Act 3 of the main story and unlock Esquie's diving ability. With both of those done, you can now enter the new area and explore to your heart's content. In terms of leveling, I completed the fight at max level without a nuke build and still experienced the challenge, so being as close to, if not at, max level with all active party members would be my recommendation. If you want to beeline straight to Osquio, go down the main sloping hill at the beginning of the region and begin heading diagonally to the right as you reach the bottom. You'll pass by the Reverie Path Expedition flag and Najabla the Gestural Merchant, and you'll begin going up a sloping path. Board the train at the far end for a short flight, and then enter the Root of All Evil's sub-area via the vortex ahead. Proceed down the slope and up the steps on the far side of the field to trigger a cutscene that automatically begins the fight against Osquio, so be prepared.
We are here to challenge the dastardly Oscio, most villainous of all villains.
The first attack to look out for is the fastest ball attack. This sees Osquio curl up into a ball and spin rapidly in place before floating into the air and flying toward you very quickly. This attack has a total of 6 hits, where Osquio will zip from side to side very quickly, requiring a parry or dodge with each back and forth. The next is Osquio's very strong fists, which has Osquio jump toward a party member and then ignite each fist with energy. This is a 7-hit attack, where the first 3 punches will come at a consistent cadence. The next 3 will come after a minor delay, as Osquio pulls its right arm backward before thrusting forward. The 7th and final hit of the attack has Osquio leap into the air before slamming both arms down, so pause your parry until just as Osquio begins descending. The Flying Gracefully attack has Osquio casually float towards the party and hover in place before quickly teleporting away. Immediately thereafter, Osquio will do 2 consecutive diagonal air dives, parry back to back, and then pause for a second as Osquio goes into the air and begins an elbow dive, which you will need to parry as he reaches you. The final move of the attack is Osquio going into the air once more, but this time for a belly dive, again waiting to parry before he reaches you. Osquio can also summon his little friends, where 5 small Esquie masks will float above him. One after another, the masks will absorb energy inward before firing it out as a direct projectile toward a party member. Watch out for the visual and audio cues to very quickly parry each shot in sequence. All 5 masks will then fire one more projectile simultaneously. Be careful though, as you'll want to parry a hair later than the prior shots, as the projectiles do take a second to reach you. Rounding out the Little Friends attack is Osquio floating into the air and curling up. He will then rapidly stretch his arms and legs out like a starfish, and the second that he does this, the masks themselves will rapidly crash down toward the party. When Osquio's health nearly depletes, he can then use a unique spin ability. This move sees him spin his belt and fully restore his health. This also kicks off the second phase of the fight, so rest assured he can only do this move once. However, in the second phase of the fight, Osquio evolves visually and also gains access to a few new moves. Luckily, or unluckily depending on your perspective, all the attacks from the first phase remain. They're completely unchanged, so your approach won't have to adapt in that regard. The first new move for this phase is Pew Pew Pew, where Osquio will fire several beam projectiles from its belt. The same visual and audio cues apply here from the Little Friends attack, in which the belt will absorb energy inward before rapidly firing it out for each projectile. There are a total of 12 projectiles at varying intervals throughout this attack. The first 3 come in a steady rhythm, and 4 and 5 rapidly follow the third. There is a split-second pause, and then the remaining 6 projectiles fire out rapidly but rhythmically. The 12th and final shot is very delayed, as Osquio will look down at his belt, tap it twice, and then the projectile fires, so you'll have plenty of time to prepare for this parry at the very least. The next new move is Dropkick, which is arguably the most complex attack of the entire fight. It begins by Osquio rapidly firing a single projectile at the entire party from his belt. Keep in mind that this will not only deal damage but also apply stacks of Barber Papa if you don't parry or dodge it. Osquio then immediately teleports above the party and performs a rapid downward kick, spins around, and a second later slams his hand down. He then teleports again and performs 2 consecutive flyby attacks from each direction, and then flips backward in the air to fire another belt projectile. Finally, Osquio teleports above the party once more and performs the titular dropkick, which is a gradient attack. Hold your nerve and wait to gradient parry for a few seconds, just as Osquio begins descending toward you. When you nearly deplete Osquio's health for the second time, he initiates his final new move, and this will be the closer to the entire fight. His Destroy the World attack is admittedly very flashy, as he charges up a giant orb in the air for a number of seconds before throwing it toward you. However, this is a simple gradient attack, and thus you'll have to just time a single gradient parry for when he throws the orb and it's travelling toward you. Unfortunately, Osquio doesn't have any elemental weaknesses or unique mechanics to exploit during the fight, and thus you'll primarily be playing a game of attrition. While you can of course use nuke builds to essentially one-shot Osquio, if you want to fight fair then you'll just need to be good with your parry timing and have a fair amount of patience. Team composition alongside weapon, Pictos and Lumina selections are mostly down to your personal preference. Though of course, bringing your highest damage dealing party members into the fight is ideal. Staple Lumina selections like Painted Power, Second Chance, any of the Energy Lumina, Cheetah, Clair's Life, and any Lumina boosting your parry or counter benefits are recommended here, though technically not required. Depending on your overall confidence, it may be worth ensuring Lune is part of the fight, as she has several healing skills that can help save other party members. More specifically though, she has several safety nets of her own, like the freezing save of the Snow Imp weapon for instance, or the Tree of Life level 2 gradient which will heal all allies while simultaneously removing status effects. This means you can consistently circumvent and instantly remove any Barber Papa stacks applied by Osquio. After defeating Osquio, you'll receive a variety of upgrade materials and the Esquie weapon for Verso and Gustav. As the cutscene ends, Verso will also automatically receive the Osquio outfit and haircut. And you can purchase the same for every other party member via the new Gestural Merchant just down the steps. And that's how to defeat Osquio in Expedition 33's new update. For a full breakdown of all the new content included in the thank you update and everything else, you're already in the right place. IGN.